There's some things you need to know about your chief. Right now, she's under federal and state investigation. Federal RICO, federal conspiracy to commit civil rights violations. State level, we're talking official oppression, violation of the Public Meetings Act. She's filed false affidavits against Jack Miller, affidavits she was refused to turn over to the DA.
It's a man you may have heard of before. He is no stranger to law enforcement. Jack Miller, known on social media as the Texas Sheepdog.
Chief, I just wanted to ask you, why have you refused to send any documentation on Jack Miller to the district attorney's office? You kind of seem to be hiding it. You worried about the FBI raiding you?
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is News Now Ninja, and today's video comes to you from Kirby, Texas, where the chief of police is under state and federal investigation for civil rights violations. And keep in mind that this is the same chief that's allowing her goons to trespass people off of public property that are exercising constitutional rights, calling public property private.
City manager, they're requesting you leave the premises.
Why?
Because it's private property.
No, it's not. It's public.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
It's private property. So if you don't leave the premises, you'll be issued a CTW, which is a criminal trespass warning. And then if you refuse to leave, then you'll be arrested for trespassing.
So I will be arrested for trespassing if I don't leave City Hall.
Shout out to HBO Matt for going to the council meeting to speak up about this situation, along with Pink Camera Magic, SA210, and all the other San Antonio activists. All original links will be in the description, and let's get straight to the action.
Matthew Rankin, please step up to the podium.
All right, we're gonna have a little fun here today. There's some things you need to know about your chief. Right now, she's under federal and state investigation for RICO, conspiracy.
I'm sorry, sir. One moment.
Sure.
Can you pause it, Ms. Caitlin?
Oh, you need me to
What
send you
is
something?
your address? Kirby, San Antonio?
Oh, no, Corpus Christi.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm not alleging these crimes myself. I'm not a witness to any of them, but I know she's under investigation for federal RICO, federal conspiracy to commit civil rights violations. State level, we're talking official oppression, violation of the Public Meetings Act and Records Act. You guys might not know, but she's been providing information from your executive meetings to members of the public, and also providing government records that were not to be released to members of the public. A couple of you might know how that happened. I think you pretty obviously know what this involves, all the Landis stuff and the stuff that's happened in here. So she's filed false affidavits against Jack Miller, affidavits she was refused to turn over to the DA. I don't know what she's told you guys, but she never went to Austin for these warrants. She went to a night shift magistrate and got falsified affidavits that were defective on their face without the critical information, and just pretty much got a pet judge to sign off on them to raid his house. So what she's done is criminal, and most likely. I'd say it's time, you're about to sign up as city manager, put up a job posting for a chief of police, because obviously you can't have one who's a convicted felon. You can't have a chief of police who's a convicted felon, obviously. When Jack Miller brought in a airsoft gun in here to prove to you how bad your security was.
Miller was also charged with disorderly conduct, displaying a firearm. This stemming from an incident in May of last year where he brought a gun to a city council meeting.
The chief, 2 officers, a detective, and I think a lawyer all touched the gun. That wasn't a gun, and acknowledged it's an airsoft gun. He was charged with bringing a firearm in here, an unlawful carry. So the detective that signed off on that affidavit and the chief that told him to committed felony perjury when they did so. Same thing for the incident down in Landis Drive. The officer who responded, the officer who went to Jack's house, and the chief all knew all he had was pepper spray. And that's all that was alleged on the day of the event. And he's been charged with felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Miller pointed a gun at someone and threatened them. He is now charged with aggravated assault.
So the detective and the chief who ordered it, who signed that affidavit saying that Jack Miller pointed a deadly weapon at a certain somebody, committed felony perjury. along with a bunch of other crimes. And since they all did this together, that's where we get RICO, and we get felony conspiracy, deprivation of rights. Also, we've got witness intimidation. Jack Miller was allegedly assaulted out there on Landis Drive by somebody who is recorded by, the chief has been recorded saying is her personal friend. And the chief attempted to have Jack Miller drop the charges against her. Called him in for a special meeting for an hour here at the police department. And tried to convince him it was his own fault that everything happened and that she's a good person, that's her personal friend, never does anything like this. And could you please drop the charges? And when Jack didn't, the chief said, well, I guess I'll just have to start writing everybody tickets for assault and stuff like that. So now you get witness intimidation and war RICO. And the chief pretty much, what's the allegation here? The raid on Jack's house was very likely to let her get a hold of all this evidence that Jack has of her illegally giving out information from your private executive sessions and government records. So those are forth. About a minute. I thank you for not interrupting me. I was planning on coming here months ago over your decorum rules when you were telling everybody they couldn't talk, couldn't use names. So it seems those have changed. I'm just going to put one little last test here. Mayor Janisha. Cool, we can say her name now. All right, that's all I got. Y'all have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Nancy Pena. If you please step forward to the podium.
The meeting as far as we're concerned. So, Chief, I just wanted to ask you, why have you refused to send any documentation on Jack Miller to the district attorney's office? You kind of seem to be hiding it. You haven't sent any documentation to the DA's office on Jack Miller.
I can't speak on the cases.
Well, no, it's not on the case. It's you haven't sent the affidavits, the police report, the warrant returns, nothing to the DA's office. Is there a reason why?
All due respect, I'm not speaking about the case.
Would it be because the DA's already said they're going to instantly dismiss the charges as soon as they see them, if anything Jack's lawyers have told them is true?
I'm not speaking about the case.
Oh, okay.
I'm not speaking about the case. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah. Would you worried about the FBI raiding you? So I know the Texas Rangers will probably just let you turn yourself in when you're getting indicted, but when the FBI indicts you, they're probably going to raid you. Any worries about that? Huh? Okay. Let's go.
Once again, a huge shout out to HBO Matt and all the other activists that have been holding these public employees accountable for their seemingly endless corruption. Get to the link in the description and subscribe to all these channels if you haven't already. Check out all the original video links, let them know that News Now Ninja sent you, and I'll see you on the next one.